This is it. We have another Celts mirror on our hands, and the only thing the players are allowed to make is siege. Villager attacking is allowed. This is the Smal Tourneys AOE meme tournament. They also have a more regular tournament going on now with 3 different ELO sections competing. But this is the meme extra event sort of with some wacky rule settings. So it's a Celts mirror. You're only allowed to make siege, and defensive towers will be an option. Castles are also ruled out, which kind of sucks for Celts. You can't get the unique tech and get that advantage, but it's also to make sure that you can actually fight with siege and that the games will not drag on forever. So, but before fast forwarding into the Castle Age, that was actually a consolation game and not in the finals. I lost to Yayo, who was in the finals. Oh, really? So we're not casting. We're casting like the losers bracket here. Thanks for the info, mediocrity. Then I think I'm missing some games in the recorded game section. But anyway, still fun to see a Celts mirror here with siege only. Brief look at the maps, then I will be fast forwarding until the cast stage because that's when the action will be going down. Back gold here for Cyanide, that's good news for him. That could be easily secured for the early game at least until you can get to the more heavy siege in the Imperial Age, or you get the siege numbers to a critical number here. Between the woodlands it's a large section to wall, but considering you will not be subject to Dark Age or Feudal Age aggression, you could still easily wall off your whole section of the map. Same goes for Tongawhiteboy's side here, a bit more spread out woodlands here, more open side, but then again there won't be any early aggression, so you could opt for the early walls and secure yourself still. So positionings as well. Stone, not really relevant for anything else than mining stone when the gold runs out, so you could sell stone for gold access. I think they just posted the final game recordings yesterday. Yes, they played it yesterday. I told them to post recordings, then I could cast it after these games. And I'm mainly just looking at the submitted recordings. So if people don't submit them, they probably don't want to see them live. So I can live with that. So after this one, we'll be moving to the final, the best of 3 set for the final, actually. So now let's progress to the Castle Age here. That's when the action will be going down. Bit fun. Bringing in some hunt here as well to really boost the food eco here. Tongawhiteboy, maybe a wise choice, could benefit in the long run for the food count, but Cyanide is bringing in more food, is milling the deer. You could mill the deer safely considering that you're not subject to early aggression here, so why not just do that, right? House walls temporarily obstructing any entrance right towards the TC here as well, so I like the awareness for the game, but not going for the full walls just yet, as Tongawhiteboy is going to the Feudal Age with his 26 pop, maybe hoping to get an early power spike going into the Castle Age here. Should have no problem whatsoever going into the Castle Age here directly after the required buildings are placed. And it's going to be a 28 population up for Tongawhiteboy and a significant lead going into the next stage here. Already a villager forward for Tongawhiteboy here as the Castle Age is about to kick in. Cyanide with the 30 population or 31 population up though. That's also going to potentially benefit him in the production for the long run here, because look at the ecos here. Wood and gold for Cyanide, it is higher than Tongawhiteboy at the moment, so having a few extra villagers sticking up might not be the worst idea in terms of defending and outproducing your opponent. Tongawhiteboy getting Town Watch as well to get some more intel, more line of sight on the map. That's further spread, has some outposts as well, so he will be seeing the siege in advance should it come towards the space. I like this addition here. Early on you could easily send out villagers to build these buildings, and the forward siege workshop is up for Tongawhiteboy here. No army production for any other players, there's one military for each, but that's only the initial scout running around for them, which is imperative to keep alive in this game mode because you're not really allowed to make a new one. Cyanide, surprisingly enough, going for kind of a little bit for the boom here or to secure the woodline, but this is within Mangonel range from outside the woodline as well, so I'm not too sure if this is the best idea. Of course, you could boost your villager count and boost your eco and get to a stronger Imperial Age, but you will be subject to... You know you will be subject to siege aggression from your opponent, and that's only the only types of units you're allowed to make. 2 TCs for Cyanide there, so it will be a significant eco lead. It's only 2 TCs actually for Tongawhiteboy as well, but it's only 2 up against 3, so Tongawhiteboy will have more wood to spare for further RB production, as he's doing as well, adding a Scorpion once. Both Scorpions could raid the woodlines here with their rage, and the Mangonels could help take out enemy Scorpions should they be made. There's some army in the siege shop for Cyanide here, some 2 military now, so that is probably a Mangonel to Cyanide, is it? It's actually Scorpions, exclusively Scorpions here. As stone walls are trying to be forced up by Cyanide here, but I think the Mangonel will get a nice hit in here and stop those villagers as well, and Cyanide just like that is down to 35 villagers against 40. 3 TCs, you need at least 15 farms, maybe 18 farms to sustain constant production from TCs. 3 TCs, you won't really be needing to make a lot of the eco against here. That doesn't really apply, but I still think for Celts Siege Mirror, staying on 1 TC for longer could be advisable, considering 1 TC is equivalent of the wood cost of almost 2 Mangonels. So by going 3 TCs, you are giving your opponent the opportunity to outmass you more easily. Tongawhiteboy's first target is the market here. He doesn't want to. He wants the break-in option, of course. Also, he doesn't want his opponent to be able to use the market to adjust the eco to his needs. 2 siege workshops for Cyanide here. Now committing mainly to Scorpions here. 5 Scorpions, 1 Mangonel. Well, it looks like it's on the left side. There's action going down here. Scorpions in the mix for Tongawhiteboy as well. That could be used to stop the walling here, but instead Tongawhiteboy uses the Mangonels to hit the TCs. I think this TC may be out of Mangonel range. No, maybe not. If he moves a bit closer, he could hit the TC as well. Looks like he tries to hit the goal. That's not really going to do too much here, other than obstruct goal access, obviously. Scorpion's now hitting the woodlines here, and the TC and a ram is brought forward to deal with the walls. Tongawhiteboy is the aggressor here, is forcing his opponent on defense with 2 siege workshops for Cyanide here, bringing in quite a few Scorpions and Mangonel server. That's just 1 or 2 lucky Mangonel hits here, and then the Scorpions are history. So this could be dangerous for Cyanide here. There is 1 unit inside of Tongawhiteboy's siege workshop here. That's about to be 2 Mangonels. So if Tongawhiteboy brings this Mangonel around like he's doing now, and then brings his 2 Mangonels from this side out, this could mean the whole of Cyanide's army being killed here. 2 Mangonels are out. Nice reaction from Cyanide though, he's taking out... yeah, it ends up being 2 for 2 there, but still great reaction. Probably hearing the garrison noise from Tongawhiteboy's siege workshop there, and ready to take the engagement from the hill with his own Mangonels. Initial scout from Tongawhiteboy now being brought in. If that goes down, that's going to limit Tongawhiteboy's map visions quite a lot here, because now the only option he has to scout is villagers or Scorpions. So I'm now bringing in builders to deal with the ram. That's perfectly allowed, but now goes to build the wall again and make sure that the aggression can enter in this area. Stone walls on the right hand side as well, so Cyanide is playing it safe here. Maybe wants to hold on until his eco can kick in more, but he is behind the villagers. He's with 3 TCs against 2, and yet he's behind the villagers. Looking at military counts here, 6 military against 2 for Tongawhiteboy here. 3 now at the moment, 1 TC almost dead though. And see if Tongawhiteboy can react here, get a kill. It's uphill, so he's dealing less damage, but ends up being a 1-for-1 here. Battering rams for both players. This one severely weakened though, but Cyanide really needs more armor of his own as well to contest what Tongawhiteboy is bringing to the table here. Using Scorpions to take out some buildings takes forever here. It takes 3 Scorpions taking just a little bit of damage for each shot here. But also with Mangonels being brought in, this TC is within Mangolin range, should be anyway. So that could be taken out, and the Scorpions will handle the raiding on this side. So it's Cyanide constantly on the defense here. Quite possibly with more eco damage though, more options to produce simply because of making less. KD very much in Tongawhiteboy's favor. It's 19-7 at the moment. And the Mangonel micro skills are really coming to the show here. Scorpions being brought around to maybe hit the goal on this side. So killing one TC and killing gold villagers on the other. Guard tower defense is in for Tongawhiteboy. So that's going to make it even harder for his opponent to reach him at his main base. But given the current events, Tongawhiteboy should just sustain his forward still, as he's losing a little bit of army here to Cyanide's Scorpions, but in exchange idling 2 TCs here and getting great value from his forward. Villager counts now 77-42 for Tongawhiteboy, who is now only missing 2 to get to the next age, gets another pick off. 31-11 is the army count here, but here comes larger army from Cyanide. The scores are evening out as well. Let's see what Cyanide's situation is like, producing out of both workshops now for a mix of Scorpions and Mangonels here. So now it's 8 military to 0 for Cyanide here, but Tongawhiteboy going to the Imperial Age. So this is a shift of power that could be extremely dangerous, and Cyanide is doing the right thing in going forward at this point. If he gets really lucky, he could reach the Imperial Age TC in time here, and if he could take out Tongawhiteboy's Imperial Imp TC, this one, then Tongawhiteboy is suddenly in a really bad spot here. Tongawhiteboy getting Bodkin Arrow, that's for the defensive towers. That is allowed according to the rules as the game goes on, I think. But might still struggle against this army moving forward slowly for Cyanide now. Do we have any siege workshops at home for Tongawhiteboy here? Actually it doesn't, so that's only 1 siege workshop. That's some wood savings already there. Villager count almost double for Tongawhiteboy here. Military count negligible though. The forward siege workshop has gone down for Tongawhiteboy, but he's dropped another one to the right hand. He's dropping a second one as well. And might be... yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is here. It's pretty heavily on food, so might be looking for the Onager upgrade, which is 800 food, 500 wood. 800 food, 500 gold, I think, is the Onager upgrade. Cyanide will not be able to reach the Imperial HTC of Tongawhiteboy in time though, but he will for sure be able to cause some idle time here. Guard tower defense going up here now. That's going to get some hits in on the siege before they can actually reach here to deal damage, but I also like that Cyanide is going up to the hill here to make full advantage of the hill extra damage bonus and take out enemy production capabilities here. I think he can engage though. He has enough mass here to take out the guard tower, could get some easy villager kills as well, but actually backs away here. That could be because of the Imperial Age of course as well, because if Tongawhiteboy had any Onagers or Mangonels ready in the back here, it would be bye-bye for Cyanide's army. Onager is being researched for Tongawhiteboy now. He's going to have at least 3 Onagers and some Scorpions in the mix here. Also getting Capped Ram, might be going into Siege Ram later on. But Cyanide is the forward was, you know, don't just run back with your own Siege here. So let's see who this is going to favor. Cyanide is not with any Siege Workshop presence on this side. He also does not have anything inside the Siege Workshop here. So once the attack comes in from this side with Imperial Age Onagers from Tongawhiteboy, it's going to be really bad news for Cyanide, who still hasn't kicked up to the next stage. There is a nice forward going on here now, and it's going to deny Tongawhiteboy of wood, but is it going to be enough with the army forces moving forward from this side now? It could effectively take out all the TCs. No defensive towers for Cyanide here. He is not on stone either, and he chooses to collect his forces here and continue his forward. Here we go with 4 Onagers and some Scorpions in the mix here now. Why not bringing out all of his army here at once? Or is he? What happened to the Scorpions? I saw a lot more Scorpions over here. Villagers are being brought in to try and take out the Onagers, but they just won't reach it in time. Cyanide is feeling forced to bring back his army here now. He needs to deal with these Onagers. He has the numbers. It's 21 to 13 military here, but it's also Onager for Tongawhiteboy and Castle Age Siege for Cyanide. Brings only the Scorpions back. This is just 1 or 2 lucky Onager shots, and these Scorpions are dead. 3 of them go down to nothing here. 4 is down already. Siege Ram is in for Tongawhiteboy. He's also going to be very helpful in taking out production here. Some Scorpions firing at each other as well. And Cyanide committing to the forward now. He is researching the Imperial Age. Might want to consider to keep his numbers alive here, but it's looking grim in his home base as well. He doesn't really have any siege, any production to defend here from his workshops, and I think this is closing in on GG for Cyanide because he doesn't have the army presence at home. It's all forward. And he's dealing damage, but it's likely not enough to compensate for what's going on in his home base with the siege rams and Onagers. Villagers doing the best to take out the siege ram here, but more attack bronze here, and look at the villager numbers. It's now 35 for Cyanide, and the siege rams incoming, and the GG is called. Yeah, he lost the MTC. That's oh, it's very unfortunate for Cyanide that this was his Imperial HTC, and that's the first one to go down. That's not something you would necessarily think about when going up to the next stage. So he has my sympathy there. And it's Tongawhiteboy winning this game in the end. Quick look at the stats, and we will go into the final of the meme tournament. KD 77 to 28. That's a lot of villagers, by the way. The Onagers got some great hits in there. Solid overall eco income for Tongawhiteboy. It took a long while before his home base was hit, so that's part of the situation there. Faster uptime helps out Tongawhiteboy as well. He dictates the pace of the game by being the first aggressor, and then ends up with a villager high, and also actually not the military high here. It's actually more military for Cyanide, but it's Onagers against Mangonels and Scorpions here, so still favors the player who is actually in Imperial Age.